You've done an interview with
Good morning.
a really senior figure in the business world in Melbourne about his concerns for the economy.
Yeah, so important context here, Annalise. CSL Chairman Brian McNamee, who's a qualified medical doctor. CSL is Australia's second biggest company, second most valuable company. They're a biotechnology company. They're also trying to develop a vaccine for COVID-19. He lives in Melbourne. He's got a 98-year-old mother who lives in Melbourne. So let's set the context there. He's worried that the stage 4 lockdowns are going too far and ignoring all the other costs, the economic costs, the social costs, the health costs to society, and just basically saying they're not getting a fair enough look in or questioning in this whole public debate and discussion about how far we take these COVID measures.
It is a difficult discussion, though, because this is something that really impacts every single person in the state. No two people are ever going to agree in exactly the same way. So how do you get an approach that keeps everyone happy? You can't.
No, you can't, but I think it's important we have a discussion about the trade-offs, and that's been missing largely in the political and the healthcare debate so far. Dr McNamee points out, for example, that research in the United Kingdom suggests that between 7,000 and 35,000 extra people are going to die of cancer in the next 12 months because they're not going to be able to get in for their appointment or they're going to miss their diagnosis. And this is the sort of stuff that's just not getting discussed enough in Australia. We're focused on one single goal at the moment in Australia. It's the COVID scoreboard. And sure, it's important. Let's not dismiss this is a serious virus. There's no two ways about that. But there's a whole lot of other stuff going on. There's suicides, there's domestic violence, there's other health implications. And dedicating all our sort of finite public resources, taxpayer money, means that other areas of society, not just now, but over the coming years, are going to miss out. And there's going to be deaths because of that as well. And frankly, there's not enough of a discussion about this, and it's time we started talking about it properly, particularly given that the stage 4 restrictions are going so far now. Sure, stage 1, 2 and 3, but stage 4 is just going to have a massive impact on society.
There's no doubt there, but it does start to get into a pretty uncomfortable space when you start saying one life is worth another and how much can you control each issue. But one of the heartening things from this conversation with the CSL leader was about the prospect for developing a vaccine. He's optimistic.
I'd say cautiously optimistic. He says, you know, there's sort of optimism at the moment that maybe it can happen, but at the same time he says there's no guarantees. So he's hopeful, but he's sort of non-committal. And he's basically saying all these policies that we have are predicated on a vaccine. Because if you're trying to delay the infection, flatten the curve as we are, it's sort of betting that there's going to be a vaccine in the next sort of 6 or 12 months. And we just don't know if there's going to be or if we're going to have to live with this virus for the next few years.